Hi City Life family, I'm here still with our wonderful sausage dog, wanting to read another book to you because Barclay Sausage Dog really likes a story, as we know. I hope you like this one we've chosen today. The story of Bertie, Webster and Albie Ant. This is the last in the series about the kind-hearted, big-hearted spider called Bertie. He was an ordinary spider, but like every other spider, he had his 8 legs and his gift of being able to make silk, wonderful webs and things like that. But we also know that he was not very ordinary in the fact that his heart was so big to help others. One evening, after the sun had gone down, Bertie was lying on his web trying to get some sleep. He was very tired after a long day looking after some of his younger brothers and sisters. They'd run around all over the place and made a mess of his web. And after they'd gone back home, he'd had to repair all the holes in it, but now it was perfect again. As he was trying to sleep, suddenly Bertie heard a strange sound, a sort of snuffling, like a pig, only much quieter and more squeaky. He couldn't see much in the darkness, but he climbed down from his web and walked towards where the sound seemed to be coming from. He climbed over the grass and leaves and fallen twigs with his 8 legs until he came to the tree stump in the middle of the garden. The sound was coming from the top of the tree stump. What could it be? As Bertie climbed up to the top, he heard a little gasp. There in front of him was a very small, very scared ant. "Don't be frightened, little ant," Bertie said. "I'm not going to eat you. Ants don't taste very sweet or juicy to me, and you're so small, it's not really worth the bother." Bertie thought he heard a little phew from the young ant, but then the squeaky snuffling started again. The young ant was crying. "Don't cry, little ant," Bertie said. "Just tell me your name. Why are you crying? And why are you here all on your own? Ants always stick together." "My name is Albie. I've hurt my foot and I've lost all my family," snuffled the little ant, louder than ever. "Well, Albie Ant, how did you come to hurt your foot and lose all your family?" said Bertie, feeling very sorry for him. "Well," said Albie, "we were all marching along in a line, carrying a really big twig we needed for our nest. I was at the back, proud to carry such a big twig. Suddenly I bumped into a sharp stone and really hurt my foot. I couldn't keep going, but no one noticed and they kept marching along without me." Albie began to cry again. Bertie knew it wasn't safe for an ant to be out on his own in the dark. A hedgehog might have him for his snack. "You can stay at my web tonight," said Bertie. "Your family can come looking for you in the morning. I'm sure of it." But Albie cried even louder. "No, I must try to get home," said Albie. "Everyone will be worried sick. Please help me, Bertie Webster." Well, Bertie had a big heart and knew he had to do something to help Albie to get home to his family. Suddenly he had an idea. "If I light up the path for you, do you know the way back home?" "Oh, yes," said Albie. "If I could see the path, I'd know my way home, but my foot is still hurting and it would take a long time." "Don't worry," said Bertie. "I've got an idea." Bertie climbed through the grass to a bush that stood close to the path and looked for his friend to ask for her help. Suddenly some lights came on in the bush. One light flew down to Bertie. "Gloria Glowworm, my good friend," said Bertie. "I really need your help. If I lay some threads out, could you and your friend sit on them and light up the path?" Gloria was happy to help, so Bertie started to spin his threads. He hung them on tall blades of grass all along the side of the path. Gloria and her friend sat on the threads and turned on their lights. Soon there was a string of lights all along the path through the garden. Bertie went back to Albie, who was looking at the lights, a smile on his face for the first time that night. Bertie looked at Albie's 6 little feet and saw that one was very red and puffy. He spun some web and wrapped it round the sore foot. This made Albie's smile even bigger. "Now hop on my back," said Bertie. "I will run you home if you tell me where to go." Albie climbed up onto Bertie's back. He could see a lot from there, in the light of the glowworms. He was able to tell Bertie how to reach his nest. And when they arrived, there were lots of ants rushing around. Bertie had heard one saying, "Oh, my poor little Albie, where can he be? Has anyone seen him?" "Mum," said Albie, "look up here. Here I am on Bertie Webster's back." Albie's mother looked up and started to smile. "Oh, Albie, you're safe and home at last." Albie climbed down from Bertie's back and ran into her 6 legs for the biggest hug you've ever seen. Bertie was invited into the nest, but he had to get back to his web quickly while there was still light along the path. He ran back as fast as his 8 legs could carry him, and as he went, the glowworms flew off the threads and went back into the bushes. Gloria was the last to fly off, smiling at her friend. "Sleep well, Bertie, and well done for saving that little chap. I couldn't have done it without you, my friend, said Bertie. Bertie climbed up into the middle of his web, so happy to have helped little Albie and his family. Then he put on his eye mask, fell fast asleep, and was snoring loudly within seconds. So what can we learn from this story? Well, we know that Bertie Webster is a very kind-hearted, big-hearted spider who likes to help people. What we see in this story is that when friends help out too, how much you can really do. And sometimes, if we're trying to help people, we just need to ask our friends to join in too. And a team of friends can make a huge difference. So I just want to encourage us to look to others to help them, but also don't be afraid to ask friends who've got special gifts that can really help.